how do you roll out that new initiative? How do you get team buy-in to make sure that it has the highest chance to be successful when you do engage in that initiative?
So I don't know if I ever get complete buy-in because, like, I'm always changing stuff all the time. But I think what it is it's just this positive energy that I emit every day. And I really think it comes back to positivity. And you can look at any situation in a positive light or a negative light, and you pick how you're going to look at it. And if you look at it positive, your team will try and find the positive. Sometimes they're like, oh, yeah, you're nuts, whatever, this isn't going to work. But I think as a leader, if you can always find the positive in whatever the situation is, that then your team, like, they buy into that feeling and they're going to move with you.
Yeah, I love your point, and it shows that you said, look, we're changing all the time. Clearly, you have a team that knows that, expects that. I imagine that informs your hiring. And the other point that I love that you mentioned, which is, as you move into that leadership, the executive, the CEO role, I mean, I think one of the biggest surprises that goes on is just how much weight your actions and your attitude carries across the team. If you show up and be like, this sucks, that sucks, horrible client meeting, guess what? Your team's probably going to go in that direction as well. I mean, you really, really carry a lot of weight, and people are going to look towards you to determine how they should act, and that's really, really impactful. Tim, on your end, when you're rolling out, a new initiative, obviously getting rid of timesheets was a big one. We can go there or other places. How do you introduce these concepts to the team? How do you make sure they understand and align with everything? What does that process look like at your firm?
Sure. Okay. Thanks. I think that in keeping track and similar comments that Jody made is, first of all, we've hired a bunch of people that are used to working with change makers. I think that's the only thing that's constant in some of our firms, and that can make some people crazy. So I think that you have to communicate in that to your staff, and that's something you're looking for when you're hiring. Or when introducing it to people that might be a little bit reluctant to change, we've had great success from a collaboration standpoint by following the golden circle principles that Simon Sinek talks about, where you always start with why. Why are we doing this? So his circle is, the inner circle is why, the next circle is how, the last circle is what. So when we bring our teams together, our firms together, and we communicate stuff, we always start with why and explain why we want to do something. Okay, and then CPAs, by their very nature, I think think the opposite way. It's always about what, how are we going to fix? We're problem solvers. Really changing that mindset to where we slow it down. We talk about why we want to do something, and we let people that are on the project team or that are just hearing it for the first time, we encourage them to be really curious about what we're doing, and if they feel safe, then we'll get some input just about, should we be doing it better without, or if we're at the rollout, it's safe to ask questions. Another tactic that we do use in our meetings sometimes is that silence means you disagree, and by doing that, it eliminates the people that just sit there and be quiet the whole time. So it gives you an opportunity to call on them and ask questions to find out what they're really thinking, so that they do have a voice in the decisions that you're making.